All right. Well, welcome to our podcast. It's the first time we've ever done this, so this could be interesting. So, Amanda, we have spent thousands of dollars traveling the world because of a fictional universe. How does that make you feel?
Well, when you say it like that, it kind of sounds ridiculous.
It kind of does. But most people would say this room that we're in is a little bit ridiculous too. But it's okay. We're ridiculous and we embrace it. But you guys just don't know us yet. So, I'm Paul.
I'm Amanda.
And together we're Cosplay Lovebirds. And so today, though, let's start with the simple question. Why Star Wars? I think everybody who loves Star Wars has a story. Maybe it started with the movies, maybe it's a favorite character, maybe it was somebody that they met or people that they met along the way. But if we think about the beginning, what is your first Star Wars movie? Or, memory?
A memory, I would have to say I was probably about 12 years old. And I was at home looking at my big screen box TV. And the Ewoks came on, and I sat down. I remember just mesmerized by them. And they were walking in the forest. I'm like, what is happening? And then more action started happening. And then Princess Leia and Luke showed up. And that was Return of the Jedi, right?
Yes, Return of the Jedi. I even wore my little Ewok shirt here just for the...
Yeah, that's how I got him.
That's pretty awesome. Return of the Jedi is actually my first Star Wars movie, too. I was actually born in 1977, but I was only 2 months old when Star Wars came out. So while my mom said she took me, I definitely don't remember it. But I remember in 1983, Return of the Jedi, backseat, probably like the Tacoma drive-in theater. I woke up because I heard this racket, and there's this Rancor roaring, trying to eat Luke. And so I watched that scene, and then when the scene transitions, I immediately fell back asleep again.
Hold up. You said you were 2 months old. How can you remember that?
1983.
Oh, yeah.
6 years.
I'm not very good
I was
at math.
6 there.
Oh, I was thinking, 2-month-old brain.
No, that was Star Wars. Empire Strikes Back. Return of the Jedi. So, same first memory. You were 12, but I was 6 when I saw it for the first time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's fine. Don't mind my brain.
It's okay. We don't. Growing up, what was your favorite character?
Princess Leia. I just loved her buns, and I just loved her demeanor.
It's hard not to.
I know.
She was pretty awesome.
Yes.
Has your favorite character changed over the years?
Yes, but Princess Leia will always be first in my heart. But Ahsoka. Wow. Women of color, just amazing, so cool.
It's interesting. Most people might actually think Grogu was your favorite character, not Ahsoka.
Well, I love Grogu. Yes. Yes, they're kind of entwined as together. They're just together.
I will say that I guess I should ask you a question. Has your ever-changing love for Star Wars characters got you in trouble?
Yes, marrying you.
That's funny. No, I actually meant, was there a certain time where maybe you told somebody what your favorite character was, and then, I don't know, they're telling their friends, and then you're up on stage in front of thousands of people, and they ask you your favorite character is, and you say something completely different after, like, oh, I know what she's going to say. Has that ever happened to you? Okay. I know it's oddly specific.
It's very specific. Insert photo. We were in London, our very first international Star Wars celebration. And I was in line, as many people are in line, to meet your favorite character. You talk, you chat, you get to know one another. And they naturally asked who your favorite character was. And I said Ahsoka. I remember saying that. And then I got called on stage hours later, and we were doing a dance-off. And with introducing, the DJ asked who my favorite character was, and I froze. And I just froze, and I was like, I have to answer this the right way. And I said Princess Leia. But to me, my husband and new friend I made said, oh, I know exactly what she's going to say. She's going to say Ahsoka. And I didn't say Ahsoka. So I was caught.
Yeah.
Sorry, new friend out there.
Yeah. It was pretty funny. It was very entertaining, and they gave you pretty much a bad time through the entire weekend. So yeah, and then I noticed like your world changed when you saw Grogu. Like when he appeared in the first season of The Mandalorian, you were like, oh my god, I'm obsessed. I want every Grogu thing. Or excuse me, at the time, Baby Yoda, but now Grogu. Don't call him Baby Yoda.
Don't call him Baby Yoda. I mean, what is it people call him Baby Yoda? That's a story for another time.
Yes. But anyway, so I saw like your world totally open because like you had never watched like the Clone Wars or Rebels. You just watched the movies. Mm-hmm. And so then all of a sudden you're like, oh, I got to get caught up on Ahsoka. Mm-hmm. And then so you started to see her history and her thing and stuff. So it was really cool to see your world change.
It was really cool.
Now my character probably has changed. My original favorite character was Darth Vader. I've always liked the bad guys, so like little Emperor Palpatine. But Darth Maul, like 1999, first time in the Star Wars in the cinemas since I was a kid, but first time as an adult, and not a re-release that I'd already seen 87 times. Mm-hmm. So like there's such a nostalgia. Like being in there at that moment, like people R2D2, everybody screams, and the drum roll, people were screaming. But then when Darth Maul walked out, double-bladed lightsaber, it was like, oh, and then he died. But then he has history. So yeah. But what about your favorite movie of all the Star Wars movies? What is your favorite Star Wars movie?
Oh man, put me on the spot.
Yep.
It would have to be Return of the Jedi. Just it just has so much history in it, and just knowledge of knowing the connection that Princess Leia and Luke have, even though they shared a kiss and then realized they're siblings. That's awkward. And then I still meet people that don't know that, and that's awkward having that conversation. But yeah, it's just the nostalgia of that one, and that will always be my favorite.
It's funny that you mentioned that movie where they're kissing. That's actually Empire Strikes Back is actually my favorite Star Wars movie.
Oh yeah. See, I get it confused in my brain.
No, it's all good. Like it's a good movie. So they kiss in Empire, but they find out they're siblings in Jedi.
Yeah. That's what I meant.
So, but yeah, no, it's actually my favorite. The AT-ATs, like the AT-ATs walking through. There's actually one right over here on this corner. Like I was just like, whoa! And then the snow speeders coming through. Like just Hoth was amazing. Mm-hmm. That was my definitely one. I probably watched that one a lot as a kid. Episode 7, I probably watched more than any other one.
Oh yeah, how so?
Just because, like, through reasons, just random circumstances, I ended up seeing it at the theater 7 times.
Yeah. In 1 week?
No, just, it was like, I went, and then some friends wanted to go, so we went again, and then we went as a work trip, and like as a work event, as a team event, so I don't know, so it's just one of those things where just kept like, oh, Paul likes Star Wars, let's invite him to go watch it with us. And so I watched it in like every format.
All right, that's cool.
Now, if someone told your younger self, said, hey, 12-year-old Amanda, that, hey, one of these days you're going to travel the world because of Star Wars, would you have believed them?
No, I would have been like, you're cute.
It's actually kind of funny. Like, international travel as a whole is something we've only really discovered. I say discovered as if it didn't exist, but for us, since COVID.
I know, that's so weird.
Yeah.
That was like 5 years ago. 6 years ago.
Yeah, so 2022 was our first international trip.
Yeah, and that was in London.
That was Ireland.
I mean Ireland.
Our first.
Wait, but that wasn't
it wasn't Star Wars, but just international travel.
Yeah, that was really cool. Yeah.
So it's kind of funny. The movies really haven't changed that much, but we certainly have. Like we grow as people. And somehow when you watch them, maybe you pick up different things, either as a parent or as you're a different point in your life, or maybe you're feeling a little more dark side or light side at that point in time. But that leads me to my next question. Our very first convention. What surprised you the most?
Whoa. What surprised me the most? That's hard. I was just so excited. I remember just walking up to the venue and seeing the banner of the Star Wars convention and like, whoa, we're really here.
Yeah, that was an amazing moment. That was London. So that wasn't our first convention, though. It was actually our third at that point.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
because we've already done
I keep thinking about international. You got to wheel me in. In the state. Okay. State of, we were in Oregon.
We were in Oregon, but it was not in Oregon.
It was in Seattle.
It was in Seattle.
ECC.
Yep. Emerald City Comic Con. That was our very first exposure to cons.
That's right. What surprised me? Everything. The whole wow, everyone's dressed, doing their cosplay and talkative and nice, and it was just so different than I was used to.
Now, our first cosplay wasn't Star Wars cosplay.
Didn't we do Marvel?
We did. You did Captain Marvel, and I did Fat Thor. So, like, we actually...
The most handsome one of all.
Oh, I think you did.
That was pretty funny.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. And I would say that, like, the sheer amount of people, like, you don't understand the sheer amount of people, like, that come into that.
Yeah.
ECC I always felt was, like, so crowded until I went to Anime Expo this last, and then I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
But it's definitely kind of crazy. I don't think either one of us expected just the sheer number of people.
You and your daughter. I was not there.
Well, no, I'm talking about our first convention, but yeah. What surprised you the most about cosplay?
What surprised me the most about cosplay? I guess it would be the makeup. There's a lot of makeup involved if you really truly want to get into character, like for me for Ahsoka.
Yeah, that has been a lot of work.
I'm so glad you have the patience.
I've learned to airbrush, and she's learned how to sit.
Yeah, and I don't really.
For both of us, it was a very big challenge.
I have a lot of squirrel moments.
But I'd say that you probably had a really cool moment in your first cosplay where you met Giancarlo Esposito.
How can I forget? Insert photo. Yes. Okay, so I was wearing...
I don't know if we're actually going to insert photos, but yes.
Okay.
Because, podcast voice.
Oh, sorry. So I was so nervous because I had my Grogu inflatable outfit on. Like, I was like a big giant balloon, but it was Grogu. And I was thinking, I don't know if I'm going to get in line with it, and you convinced me to do it. I'm so glad you did. Because when it was my turn, and I go around the corner, and he just says, my friend, and our hands just like, touch and embrace and friendship. And I got that photo. So cool.
Giancarlo is like a super nice guy. Like, we've met him a few times now. Mm-hmm. And the last time he remembered me and he slapped me on the shoulder. I was wearing my plate armor from my old Captain Rex cosplay. Yeah. And he's like, you're looking good, and just chatted for a minute. He's just like a super, super nice guy.
Yeah, I remember when he signed my photo, and he's like, I wanted to see how that photo turned out. So he really liked it.
So cosplay for you is not always easy, though, because it's always like trying to get you into the cosplay mode. Like, it's not like your first thing. Yeah. I mean, when you're in it, you're in it.
Yeah, I'm in it.
But getting to that point.
Yeah, for me, getting to that point, I get into my own field, my own brain synapse. They just wire differently. Like, I don't know, maybe we should do something else. I don't know. But once I'm in it, and looking good, and I get the compliments, and you just feel like, like, oh yeah, I do this good. Yeah.
What surprised you most? So for me, cosplay is just how much people love it. Mm-hmm. I'm a big dude, and so I don't always represent the physical person of it, but I do the best that I can. And people generally don't care. Yeah. They're like, oh yeah, you're Krennic, or you're Old Rex, or whatever it happens to be. People are just like, yeah, I can see what you're doing, and they're just fun with it. Mm-hmm. I'm having a fun time with Dad Bod Vet. So though I'm a little more dad bod than he is.
Yeah, that's okay. Totally fine.
Yeah. So what surprised you most about the Star Wars community? And when I'm thinking about that, let's because the online community can be very vocal, can be a little toxic. Yeah. But the in-person community.
Especially when you go to the cons like every year, you see the same people, and you kind of left off from your conversation that you did a year ago, and you find out, oh, we're engaged, or now we're married, or we're expecting, and then you start talking about the genre of Star Wars and your favorite characters and why you like cosplaying as them, and you hear about their stories and how they were able to come to the Comic-Con, and you just become like a little family, and that surprised me. I wasn't expecting that, and that was really cool.
Yeah, I remember the one couple, they got engaged at Celebration London.
Yes.
So we got to watch that.
Yeah.
And then ahead of Celebration Japan, they got married there.
Yeah.
So there was a little ceremony. We didn't get to go to that, but that's just really cool to sort of do that.
So cool. So, yeah.
And it is really kind of wild that like you'll be at a con with like 30,000 other people, or even the smaller ones like 10, 15, and somehow you always run into like the same like 4 or 5 people.
I know, that is just wild to me.
It's
but
pretty
it's really
crazy.
fun. I like that.
I don't think that like that's what people maybe on the outside don't always see. They see costumes, but when you're in that, you see people, and I think it's kind of cool.
Yeah. Really
what advice would you give to somebody who wants to cosplay but is nervous about it?
Because me being nervous, I would do something very simple. Just something where you feel comfortable in. And just go with a bestie, a friend, and just have fun with it. And before you know it, you're just in the mood, in the mode, and you're just like, oh, that was pretty easy. I want to do something different next time.
And generally, like, I would say don't bother to care what people think about how you look.
Yeah.
Like, I love just popping into a Starbucks and cosplay. Just be like, this is
this is my total attire, normal way of,
I stopped into Starbucks and I was wearing my new Fett, so I had all the armor, the belt on, but I wasn't wearing the helmet or like some of the stuff. And there was a couple of cops in there, and they were like, "Hey, your uniform's better than mine." I was like, "Thank you very much."
It's kind of fun.
Yeah. Oh, so it's kind of fun. So tough question.
Oh no.
If Star Wars disappeared tomorrow, what would you miss the most?
Oh, that's a sad question to ask me. I would miss the most just having that common interest. I as a phlebotomist, I meet a lot of different people at my job, and when they see my Grogu characters by my desk, and if they're big on Star Wars, we get it chatting about it. So I would really miss that. That would be very sad.
Yeah, that would be sad. I think sometimes Star Wars is about hope, and people lack hope. And while there's better places to find hope, more long-lasting hope, sometimes like in the short term, you need like some really good hope. And so watching, whether it's a redemption arc or something, like it's good to see those things.
Our Grogu saving the day.
Yes.
The Mandalorian Grogu.
Exactly. And not to mention, like, I would probably also miss like the traveling together.
Oh yeah.
Like it has been
gave us a reason to go to. I mean, I'm pretty sure we would have thought another reason to go to London, but I don't know when that would have happened.
But Japan? Would we have ever gone to Japan?
I don't know. I'm so glad we went.
Yeah.
I would totally go back again.
A life-changing experience.
Yeah.
We're actually already talking, so we're going to Celebration LA, so we hope to see you there. But we were already chatting, like, where are we going to go 2 years after that, assuming that they keep the 2-year rhythm? Like, what country? Is it going to be Orlando? Is it going to be Germany? Like, we're kind of excited to see where our next vacation is going to be, determined by Star Wars.
I know. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, so I think it's, sort of the things we found because of Star Wars. I think that's why Star Wars has sort of lasted for generations. Every generation has their Star Wars, whether they're, our age, where it came when they were, or the kids that are coming up with Rebels and the sequel series, or those are their Star Wars. For my kid, that was the sequel series was her Star Wars. Now, let's just say that something happened, somebody used the Force on you, and they said, you're going to forget all your Star Wars memories but one. What's the one memory that you would keep?
The one memory?
Yeah, one Star Wars memory.
There's too many. Give me a hint. What did I say?
I don't know. It's your memory.
Oh, my memory. Well, one that just popped in my head was when I was dressed as Grogu in the inflatable balloon, and you and Brooklyn, your daughter, and we were walking outside. It was a blizzard.
It was actually a blizzard. Really crazy.
It was and we Star Wars fans, we will come in sleet, rain, shine. We will still make it happen. And somehow I did not slip on the ice, and it was blowing. I could have been blown away.
It was literally an ice storm. This was for Fan Expo Portland.
I mean, if anyone would video us, it was quite entertaining.
Yeah, we were each holding one of your hands across the street.
And I made it. thankfully. So I would never want to lose that memory.
That's a good one. It's tough to say because like there's a lot of fun memories that happen. I'm thinking about a memory with like when one of the I think it was episode 8 came out.
Yeah.
And so there was a bad windstorm in Eugene, and trees were getting knocked down everywhere. And so a friend of mine and his wife, they came and picked me up in their Jeep. And so they wiggled through around all the down trees and over what needed to, so that way we could make the movie that night. And we met some of our other friends who lived upriver and stuff. But yeah, that group of us at the time used to go to all those movies every year. So that was just like every other year. Yeah. So that was a lot of fun. That was a memory that I would get rid of. So
you wouldn't get rid of it.
I wouldn't get rid of. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Now give me one funny memory from Star Wars. But something to do with like our travels or cosplay or something like that.
It's funny?
Yep, a funny one.
A funny memory?
Yeah.
Oh man, you put me on the spot. A funny memory. Well, it turned into a cool memory, but it was funny at the time. I don't know. When we were in Japan, and I was in line at the Grogu shop, and an influencer, that records, asked me later on, like, hey, can I get your Instagram information? I want to record you, because I was cosplaying as May from the Acolyte, and I looked pretty good.
And you didn't know who that was?
No, I had no idea. I was just like, hey, if I could help promote yours, yep, I'm happy for that. And so a couple of hours go by, and I look down at my phone. I'm like, oh, well, they want to meet up with me. And I look, and Paul says, that's the Star Wars,
Yeah, we got a DM from Star Wars Instagram page.
Yeah. And I'm like, well, okay, well, I still want to go over here. And Paul's like, no, you don't put them on hold. You go where they need to meet you.
Yeah, it's like when Star Wars calls, you answer.
I'm like, okay, so I'm glad I did. And so I was able to do like a little scene for them where I'm like running into action, and I do a really cool pose.
And then they posted on their story.
Yeah, it was really cool.
That was really cool. Yeah, I don't know necessarily funny, but it was definitely a great memory.
Yeah, I can't think of something funny. That just popped in my head.
No, it's all right. You got to go with it. I think of like maybe not funny, but still like for the cause. We were going to either our first or our second cause event, and I left my lightsaber at home, and I was doing the Jedi Temple Guardian. And so I needed my double-bladed lightsaber. And so it was a half hour each way out of our trip. So we had to turn around, half hour back, got the lightsaber, turn around, drove back. And we were driving to Seattle, so it was like a good 6-hour drive that we added an extra hour to. Yeah. So
I remember us looking at each other like, should we go back? I'm like, yes.
Yeah, you were like, just go back.
Just go back. You're gonna regret it.
Yeah, and I was glad I brought it because I really like that costume. I don't really wear it much but yeah, it was a good one. So when we started this episode, we thought we were answering the question, why Star Wars? But I think maybe we discovered something a little bit more than that.
What is that?
Well, that this channel really isn't just about Star Wars. That our podcast is about friendship, it's about creativity, it's about travel together, it's about finding people who make it a little bit more fun. It's just what happens when you use Star Wars to start the conversation. And in a lot of ways, Star Wars started our relationship. So,
oh, yeah, that's true.
So before we go, one last question.
Okay.
What are you going to take away from today's conversation? I know you had no time to prepare for this question. This is a surprise one.
What am I going to take away? That it was a really cool conversation to have with my love.
Oh, gross.
Tears.
I love you.
Love you
all right. Well, we'd love to hear from all of you. What was your first Star Wars memory? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed hanging out with us today, we'd love to have you back here for our next adventure. And until next time, may the Force be with you.
Oh, yes. May the Force be with you. Always.